Hello, everyone. Welcome to a little bit of woo woo. Wow, it's been a weird couple of weeks, hasn't it? Oh my goodness. I will tell you, I don't feel like the final chapter of this story has been written, but that doesn't necessarily mean the results are going to be any different when it is. So I would just say for a lot of us, it's time to start shifting our energy into back to ourselves, back to the things that we wanted to create for our own lives, and just understand a couple of things here that the administration that's coming in, this is the second time around. It's not going to be the same as the first time around. I've always intuitively seen he doesn't have a lot of energy. He's not feeling very good physically. I do think that's going to impact things. It could also be that he doesn't stay president for all that long and then decides to turn the reins over to the second in command. I don't know. It could actually be how it plays out. But I do think that things will be different. There will be midterms in a couple of years that will affect the Congress people, and I don't see him getting a blank check. Neither president was going to get that from either the House or the Senate to be able to do whatever they want. It may feel that way now in our most scary nightmares, the idea of someone that we don't necessarily, some of us don't trust, getting a blank check is really scary. But I would say I don't really think that's what would happen. Logically, that's just not how it works. But if you're somebody that's really worried, I would say set those worries aside and use that energy for something more productive. And let's talk about what other things you could do, because like the two astrologers that were on have been on the last few weeks, we talked about that 1111 portal that was happening, and the astrology has changed. A lot of you guys are getting ideas, lots of downloads of new business ideas, new ventures, new things you want to try, books you want to write. It's now time to start to take some action or start to research those more intently. There's a couple of reasons for this. One of them is that in 2025, 2026, I've seen this for a long time. There is definitely going to be an economic downturn. You don't need a psychic to tell you that. This video is for entertainment purposes only, so you really shouldn't listen to that part of it necessarily without a grain of salt, okay? But an economic downturn means that a lot of layoffs could happen. There was a layoff at my husband's company this morning. Just this morning. It wasn't him, but he's a big company, right? He works for a big company. This kind of thing is going to be happening a lot more in the next couple of years. I know some people thought, well, when this particular person became elected, that there would be that everything would get turned around. There's no economic downturn. I don't think there are any economists that think that is true. They might think that things will get slowed down, or they may think that things could be better, but I don't really see that soft landing narrative being handed and bandied around as much, okay? So those of you that have been handed through this 1111 portal, handed new ideas, new entrepreneurship visions and things you want to create for yourself, it's time to start really looking into that, putting that into play. Particularly because some of you guys who are watching this, and I've talked about layoffs, okay? Some of you guys watching this are in states right now where if you get laid off and you had started a business before you got laid off, you could still continue the business. You want to check the laws in your particular state, but there are states like that. Now, a lot of states where if you have a business and a job, you have to give up the business, in order to continue to receive unemployment. That is not true for everyone. So I really want you to look at your state. And if you need to file paperwork, an LLC, or just to set things up beforehand, you would just be putting yourself in a better position if that happens. If it doesn't happen, great. Okay. So I do see unemployment getting to 10 or 12%, kind of like with the GFC. 2008, 2009, a lot of people got laid off. Now, having said that, I've said this before, that still means that 90% of you all are still going to have a job. But if you're in a household with two incomes and you're relying on both of those incomes, the chances of one of the household getting impacted is 1 in 5 now. Okay, that's a little bit more scary number than 1 in 10. Okay, so start thinking about multiple streams of income, even if it's just a few dollars here and there. I've been telling people I would love to see you guys all have like 4 streams of income, one of them being an investment of some kind. If you don't do that, it's time to start learning about investing. I'm going to give you an example. I know some of you are going to write in the comments that the stock market and the bond market is not the real economy. Totally agree. Still write that in the comments though, because it helps the algorithm of my channel. Just saying. Totally with you on that. But the fact that most people don't understand how the stock market and the bond market really works is very intentional. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life. I have a client who went to a private school not far from where I went to school. And one of their high school projects was that they had to start a business. And so they were learning about entrepreneurship right away. My own cousin, he also went to a private school. They were forced to, as part of their high school project, to create like a fake stock portfolio. And his fake stock portfolio did so well that his dad dropped in some coin. He created a real stock portfolio and ended up paying for the first 2 years of college with that money. I didn't learn about any of that in my high school. Okay, in my high school, we learned about compounding interest, and I should put my money in the bank and give it to Jamie Dimon. I'm just saying, there's a reason why. If you haven't learned about how the stock and bond market works, there's a reason for that. It's intentional. It's time for you to start understanding how this game is played, because there will be some opportunities, possibly more next year, to get things on the cheap. The stock market is beginning to feel, and it has been for a while. So again, entertainment purposes only, not a stock portfolio manager should talk to one of those. It's beginning to feel a lot like the tulip wars here. Things can't go up forever. Maybe they can. I don't see that happening. Okay. The bond market has been acting very strange. For those of you who follow bonds, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. There is also some rejiggering of portfolios that happens in December. So things may go down in December. It's just as part of selling things off to pay for tax, basically for taxes. Don't be terribly surprised if you see that. And also, that doesn't necessarily mean you should be freaking out. I do see a correction coming, but you want to be in a position to understand how this game is played later on if you decide to join it. That's why I'm saying, if you hear something in the news and you know what it is, Google it. Good place to start is the yen and carry trade. I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about that one. The economy is not great. I know that the gaslighting that a lot of the Democrats did may have contributed to what happened with the election. I'm telling you, getting like Black Friday deals in October from merchants that never put their products on sale is not a good sign. You guys realize it's Thanksgiving next week? Oh my God. My inbox has been flooded with Black Friday deals, like way too early, in addition to the stuff I was getting in October, but that's a separate thing. I want you to start thinking about family a little bit different. Now, I know some of you are gonna be visiting family that maybe have different political views. I'm gonna share something on this one. Your racist grandma wants to pick a fight with you. She wants to talk to you about the election so badly. Don't give it to her. Don't give her the opportunity. Narcissists love to fight. With the fact that she was racist, was that really a secret? Okay, are you going to change her mind? Absolutely not. Are you going to change anybody's mind? No. But what you can do is just not give them the satisfaction, and just approach it with love, and just approach it from a sense of humor. It is what it is, right? Family is family. Family's complicated. You guys are going to be needing more of each other later on as things start to get weird, even more weird. I do want to talk about conflict events, because we are going to be seeing an escalation of that in the next few months and into next year. That's already happening in the news. It's very scary. For most of you, you're just going to be watching it on TV. You're not going to be impacted and involved in it in any way. But it is really scary. I would say also, for all of you watching, you're probably getting a hit to your intuition. You're probably getting additional intuitive bits of information. I've got a guest coming on Thursday. She's going to be on Thursday. And we're going to talk about, she actually survived the Boston Marathon massacre, Boston Marathon event. And she's going to talk about how she used her intuition to save herself from that. I want you to tap in more to your intuition. Start developing those skills. Now, when it comes to stock investing, entertainment purposes only, do I use my tarot cards? No, I don't do that. That would be stupid. I use what I understand about macroeconomics, but I also understand that when a presidential candidate is saying that we need a strategic reserve of Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is probably going to go up, and that there's nothing in the fundamentals that will be anticipating that. So sometimes it really is just about narrative and what's going on in the news. I would also caution against getting caught up too much in narrative in general. We can have a tendency to do what's called group speak, to kind of get insulated with our friends and family and get ideas in our heads that didn't necessarily start with us, but they continued and perpetuated. And then we watch news that supports those ideas. You want to step outside of media, mainstream media, and understand that there's a game being played and it involves sales basically. And do you want to be buying it? Do you want to be contributing to that by believing it? We've been told many things in our lives that we know now aren't true or were never true. And we bought into it and we believed it. And maybe it's time to just understand that that's part of a game, part of what's happening, part of the world. And stepping aside from that and listening to your own intuitive voice and spending more time in nature, spending more time with your family, spending more time with your cats and your dogs, and sparing a thought, by the way, sparing a thought for the victims of Hurricane Helene who are not getting the support, who are not getting the respect they need, who are almost completely out of the news cycle, even though the rebuilding has just barely even started to start. So with that, we're going to talk more about macroeconomics, I think, in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll see. There is going to be some more conflict events going on in the world. I think I would not get too caught up in watching the videos on TV because it's just going to be too scary. For most of us, there's really just nothing we could do. I would also say that there's going to be some additional weather events, particularly specific northwest, where it would be wise for you to have your supplies in your garage or wherever your water, right? All the things that we're supposed to have, it's always wise to have that handy. And I would encourage you to do that. But again, back to spreading love, trying to be the change that you want to create in the world, creating what you want to see in the world in a positive way. This is all good stuff. And again, thank you so much for watching the channel. I really appreciate it. Give it a like and a thumbs up. And I'll see you again next time. Okay, guys? Love you. Bye.